Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and welcome to a new StarCraft II cast. This time it's going to be me spawning as the blue Zerg in the the top right corner of Antigua Shipyard. It's going to be me spawning as the blue Zerg, and my opponent for this game is going to be a much more exciting player than me. It's going to be none other than Evil Genius's DeMusliM. And of course it's going to be a Zerg vs Terran. Evil Genius's DeMusliM, very well known for being on the team. Evil Genius's, which is, if you watch StarCraft at all, probably one of the most popular foreign teams that ever existed, and one of the teams that's actually out there the most. A lot of people actually have some, or a lot of teams actually have some awesome players, but they don't really market their players as much as Evil Geniuses do. So this is going to be one of their players named E.G. DeMusliM. At the time of playing this, I believe he was like rank 32 or something in the Grandmaster League of things, and he wasn't streaming at this point. I actually checked after the game, but it turns out he really wasn't streaming whatsoever, so it looks like this was just some practice for DeMusliM, maybe just trying out the new Heart of the Swarm patch that got released, and after like 24 hours of downtime, and of whatever, how long it was a really long time, Heart of the Swarm finally get back up, and it might just be that DeMusliM was testing this stuff out a little bit. So it looks like Zerg vs Terran actually is being changed quite a little bit, especially on my side. I'm trying to go for a lot more Roach Hydra kind of style in Zerg vs Terran versus all kinds of matchup, and this match actually proves that versus bio player versus standard marine tank kind of play, which DeMusliM will do a little bit of, Roach Hydra is pretty damn terrible. So we are going to watch that in this game. Of course, it's going to be a much better player than me. DeMusliM is very well known for being one of the best foreign Terran players in the entire world. So, and I'm just a, I'm just a Zerg player. So, However, I'm going to open up with a hatchery first right here, as you can see, followed up by a gas guys and followed up by a spawning pool. I've been doing this for the last few Zerg vs Terran games. I feel like it's one of the most effective build orders actually. I noticed that a lot of GSL players were doing that in the last season. Of course GSL is Wings of Liberty, so it's not going to be any kind of Heart of the Swarmish, but it looks like a lot of them are actually open up with a relatively early gas, either right after the spawning pool or a little bit before, so I'm messing around with that just a tiny little bit. And the one advantage that you have while doing this is actually that your Zergling speed will start really early. However, I do manage to get a scout off into his base. I realized that there's a command center going down, and I already noticed that it's a 1 Rex expand. I checked for both the gases, no gases being up, so at this point I know it's going to make up for a fairly standard game, which is something that you can actually expect completely from DeMusliM. So here we go, mining 100 gas, actually going to pull off drones off gas. I'm actually trying some other stuff out by delaying the second queen a little bit. Instead opting to get a bunch of Zerglings out. Maybe if we actually delay some bunkerage right here, I will be able to do a little bit of damage, but it turns out he's already making a bunker right now, as you can see. So this bunker will finish more than enough in time, and it will be able to defend against most pressure that is going to come. However, I of course don't know about this, so I'm just going to follow this SV around a little bit. Going to actually try and do a little bit of aggression to him. Maybe get a marine or something. That's actually my guess right now. I hope that I maybe will be able to pick off a drone or an SCV rather, and maybe a marine. But turns out he already has a bunker out. So there we go. I'm going to morph some more queens in. Of course, my Zergling speed is about 70-ish% done, and I actually do turn around with those Zerglings. I want to see what is going on, but it turns out, no, I'm a little bit indecisive, and I once again turn around, going to head for his main base. I need to check out what is going on right here. Maybe I will get a little bit lucky. I actually want to scout with those links as soon as my Zergling speed finishes, which is in a little bit. As you can see, I do notice his bunker is out right now, so I turn around once again until my Zergling speed is out, and at that point I actually will run again and try and get a scout off. However, as you can see, my queens are right now finished. I'm going to add another gas, guys. I'm going to add drones back into gas because my Zergling speed finished. And here we go. I'm going to try and actually do some scouting with those Zerglings that I got. And it turns out they actually do manage to get up to the ramp. I actually see that this factory is being switched over, and that there's also a starport on the way. So I will be seeing pretty much everything that is going on. I also noticed that there's a third command center on the way already, and that he had a bunch of energy on this orbital command. So at this point, well, it's looking like it's going to be a fairly standard game. I'm actually going to expand because of this myself. As you can see that nice little animation right there on the creep tumor. But turns out I will just be able to take a safe third base. I should actually have a bunch of Zerglings out right now just to at least stand at the watchtower, maybe even one at his front right now, so I know what is going on. But it turns out he is doing nothing special whatsoever. I'm actually going to be creating double evolution chamber as well as a roach warren, because roach warrens are fucking awesome against pretty much everything that is Terran at the moment, except for Mess Marine. So there we go. His first 2 aliens looks like they're just going to be chilling a little bit at the watchtower. Most likely gonna save up a bunch more, because as you can see on the production tab, 2 more already finished, 2 more already on the way, and he's actually going to start walling off this area right here, having the first supply depot already finished. He's also, however, going to start the starport, of course, with the tech lab, and he is going to research a little bit the Caduceus reactor, which improves the medevac healing rate by 2, and he's also going to start Banshee production. But here he goes. He's actually going to be a little bit aggressive with those Hellions that he made initially, and he's going to actually be able to pump off a bunch of creep tumors that I made, and he does actually manage to snipe off a bunch of them. So that's a nice little pick off right there for the DeMusliM. However, I have 2 queens dedicated to creep spreading. I actually start rounding up my third base right now, and I have a bunch of Zerglings out in case he starts getting a really aggressive with his Hellions. However, my lair tech just finished up. I'm actually going to instantly start a Hydralisk then, and I'm also having +1 armor and +1 attack for both the roaches and the Hydralisk on the way, because at this point I really don't know what I'm up against. So right now I do notice there's no third base whatsoever out, and I do know there's a bunch of units out there right at the front, and I do see the Banshee being out right now, so I decided to not put back actually this queen, because it might cost me a lot more than it will actually cost me just the queen. So here we go. It's actually going to put up a nice scan, killing off a bunch of creep tumors, which is actually huge. I think a lot more Terran players should actually be doing this kind of stuff, and it's only really the pro players that will do this kind of stuff. However, I do manage to pick off about 3 Hellions right there, which is a nice pick off considering the cost of it. However, I do lose most of those creep tumors, which are really valuable to me, and at this point I still know. However, I still realize that he didn't take this third base yet, but he did create it really early on, so he's just going to use that for muling right now, as well as creating SCVs, and he will be full saturated. As you can see right there, he can actually use a bunch more SCVs in his main, but it looks like he's actually using those SCVs to create some more barracks. So as you can see on the production tab, I'm actually starting the, what is it even called? The Muscular Augments, which is the speed upgrade for the Hydralisk that they in the last patch actually moved to the lair tech of things. And I'm also going to start my +2 armor, going to start my +2 range attack shortly as well, because range attack is going to help both my roaches as well as my Hydralisk. And I think at this point he is going for max, so you know, I don't really have confirmation on that, and I don't realize that there's all those barracks on the way, but considering what I'm seeing, I'm not doing the worst thing at all. I actually do notice there's a Banshee out, I do notice there's Hellions out, so at this point I feel like it's a fairly safe bet to actually do a little bit of a push with some Hydralisk and with some roaches. As you can see, my roach speed is all about to be finished, as well as my Hydralisk speed. I'm also going to start the grooved spine upgrade for my Hydralisk soon, which is actually the range upgrade for the Hydralisk, and here we go. I actually have a bunch of Zerglings out moving across the map, and I know that those Zerglings are basically just here to take some shots. Zerglings at this point in time, they don't really do anything anymore, because I'm not upgrading them. I'm not upgrading them as far as damage upgrade goes. Of course, he will finish his +2, or at least I'm thinking so. He will finish his upgrade soon on those Hellions. So I don't think, well, I won't really need to make any more Zerglings right now, even though it would have been a good chance in the end. But we will see. We will see that shortly. So there we go. He's actually taking his third base. He's going to take double gases there right away, and he already has all the other gases mining. Also going to start the engineering bay upgrades once again, and he is actually starting +2 right now. But it looks like I'm going to be a little tiny bit aggressive, but it looks like this is a little bit badly timed, because as you can see right here, the siege stack upgrade just finished up, and he will actually be able to put up some nice pop shots right here on the roaches that I created initially. So I'm going to try and actually pick off those rocks right here. I know this tank is in rage, so I'm going to pull back with my Zerglings that I created. I'm actually not going to allow them to attack those rocks. And he might be thinking that I'm going for a push. However, I do realize that my +2 is about to be finished for both the range and the armor upgrade, so I don't really want to push in just yet. I also realized that my Groove Spine upgrade is about to be finished. So for me, I should be making some more stuff before I go in for the push. And at this point, I know there's a bunch of Marines out. I also start to realize that it's actually just Marine tank out right now. And I actually was thinking at this point, well, if he was going for any kind of mech play, I will be able to do quite a nice bit of damage right here. So what I'm going to do is actually finish once my +2 finished, once my all my upgrades finished for my Hydralisk, because Hydralisk also got the speed upgrade right now on their tank. So here we go, I'm going to be pushing into this big ass clump right here. However, he's having a lot more stuff than I actually realized. My Zerglings and stuff basically already die in 1 second, and I actually have a completely failed push right here, losing so much for basically nothing. And he will actually take this opportunity right away to go for a little bit of a counter attack. He's also going to start his 4th command center right now, and he is going to be moving out right now once his +2 finishes. As you can see, the +2 is about to be finished, as well as the +1 armor the +1 vehicle for both the ship weapons as well as the tanks. So there we go, he's actually going to be pushing in right here. I actually do manage to do quite a bit of army, but I'm losing a lot more supply right here than he is, because Marines, of course, are a lot cheaper than Roach Hydralisk. As you can see on the supply tab right now, it's 160 supply for DeMusliM versus only 120 for me. So that's a little bit of a loss for me. However, it's not going all that terrible, because I actually have this base up. But I will need to clean up this army before I can start mining there. However, if we take a look at the income tab right now, it's 81 harvests for him versus only 56 for me, which is actually a huge deal. He will be able to produce so much more than I will be able to produce. And at this point in the game, I actually do not realize that I have such little harvests compared to my opponent. So right now, I actually will be able to pick up this little bit of an army right here that is left. However, he has a big clump of an army right here just waiting to get used right here. And I do manage to pick off a bunch of medefacts right here. That is a big deal right now. So as you can see, his 4th command center is out right now. He is going to start +3 pretty much instantly on his bio, of course. And this will give him a huge lead as far as upgrades go. My +3 isn't even started yet. I'm not even at Hive yet. But however, I do have my infestation pit, so I can start going for that really soon. But here we go. He's going to be once again engaging a little bit for my army, and he's just gonna keep making more and more stuff, making sure that I will not be able to produce and drones and saturate this gold base right here. So as you can see, he's instantly gonna go for it. I'm actually doing a bunch of damage to his Marines, but once again, Marines are really cheap, and really, there's no way I can kill this army at this point, even though I have a better composition. So here, all these siege tanks are sieged up. He has 4 tanks right now, a bunch of medefacts that actually got buffed quite a lot as well in the last patch, making them a lot more useful with Marine tanks. So Marine tank is once again going to be a viable army composition. As you can see on the production tab right now, I'm actually trying to get up a bunch more drones, because I start realizing that I don't have as many drones. As you can see, I only have 12 drones right here mining in my natural. I also only have 10 drones in my main, and I have way too many hatcheries. So right now I actually haven't done it properly. However, I'm going to go in for a push right here. I do manage to get a nice surround on all those tanks that were going on right there. I'm also having a bunch of queens out right here that might be able to do some nice transfusions, but it looks like I'm losing pretty much my entire army for pretty much nothing, and he is mining from the gold base right now. So there we go, he's once again going to be moving out with all those tanks. Also having one lonely STV right here. That is going to be very useful. Not really actually, but as you can see, I am going to start once again with my Hive upgrade. But it looks like he is going to be sieging up right in the middle of the map. And he knows that he has this game won, and a GG well play out. So he did a really nice job actually getting all the stuff up that he wanted. He's actually doubling me in supply at the end game, and I lost this game versus one of the best foreign Terran players in the entire world. So I want to thank you guys all for watching. Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you again. Bye!